Hello and welcome again to this channel. Happy New Year to everyone, especially my subscribers. Okay, guys, as you can see, now that America has sworn in a new president on the 20th of January 2025, President Donald Trump, things have changed, at least from the look of their website or the page where we get information on the non-immigrant wait times. The page has changed. Now they have the whole countries tabulated on one sheet. Anyway, here is the new page, the new design of the page for waiting times. Let's read this together. Global visa wait times. This was updated on the 7th of January 2025. It says the estimated wait time to receive an interview appointment at a US embassy or consulate can change weekly. Oh, interesting. So it can change weekly now and is based on actual incoming workload and staffing. These are estimates only and do not guarantee the availability of an appointment. Guys, it's hard for me to believe this their reason for, because Nigeria especially, the waiting time for both Abuja and Lagos for some years now, let's say about 2 years plus or going to 3 years, has been a very long wait time. Year plus, year plus, year plus. But I see changes since December for Abuja at least, not Lagos. So anyway, guys, let's go ahead and check the waiting times for various countries in Africa. You're welcome, guys. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. So let's read on. Note: embassies and consulates may have a separate process for visa cases where the in-person interview requirement is waived. In general, wait times for those cases are shorter, but they are not reflected in the table below. Please check the individual embassy or consulate website to determine if your case is eligible for a waiver or the in-person interview. Well, like it's plainly explained here, the what they are saying here is that you could be given an appointment for an interview and you will get there and it will be waived off. But they said here, the clause here is that cases like that are those countries where the wait times are shorter. So I don't think it applies to Nigeria. And okay, though this video is not only for the Nigerian Nigerians viewers, but I just because I'm a Nigerian, I am more specific about Nigerian issues. Please pardon me for that. So guys, where you see the red arrows, this implies that these are areas, countries that we are interested in. That is countries in West Africa. So as you can see, Abuja, Nigeria, for visitors, visas, you have 55 waiting days. That is alarming. That is a grand change. For workers, 56 days. For C1D, 56 days, and 80 days for, hold on guys, 80 days for, sorry about that, 80 days, no, there's something wrong here, sorry. So sorry about that. Discard what I said earlier on about Abuja. Now let's go back. So Abuja, we're interested here in Abuja and Accra. So for Abuja, we can see that for students, 55 days. Petition-based temporary workers, 56 days. Crew and transit 56 days, visitors 80 days. Guys, that is a big grand improvement. That's Abuja, Nigeria, 80 days. As to last year, we have 1 year, 1 year plus 1.5 years. Anyway, let's move on. For Accra, Ghana, students 80 days, petition-based temporary workers 149 days, crew and transit 93 days, and visitors 119. Wow, Abuja is even shorter than Accra, Ghana for visitors visa. Okay, guys, let's move on to more countries. So here we have for Bamako, students 21 days, temporary workers 21 days, crew and transit 21 days, visitors visa for Bamako is 175 days. That has gone up. Now for Banjul, Gambia, you have 48 days for students, temporary workers 48 days, crew and transit 42 days, and visitors visa 48 days. Banjul, Gambia. So for Brazzaville, students 78 days, temporary workers 296 days, 78 days for crew and transit, and then 296 days for visitors visa. That's for Congo Brazzaville. Now let's go to Cape Town, South Africa. For students, 8 days. Temporary workers, 8 days. Wow, 8 days all through. That's South Africa. So for Guinea-Conakry, 56 days for students, temporary workers, 56 also. In fact, for Conakry, 56 days all through, whichever category. Now for Cotonou, 196 days for students. In fact, 197 days, all the way through for Cotonou. Dakar, Senegal, you have 10 days. Wow, not bad for students. 10 days for temporary workers. 12 days for crew and transit. And for visitors visa, 43 days. Not bad for Dakar. And then Tanzania, Dar es Salaam, 43 days for students, 15 days for temporary workers, 15 days for temporary workers, 15 days for crew and transit, 77 days for visitors visa. So for Gabon, 30 days for students, 30 days for temporary workers, 30 days for crew and transit. In short, 30 days all through for Gabon. So for Johannesburg, that's South Africa, 10 days for student. No, 1 day for student. Oh my God, for Johannesburg, South Africa. Anyway, 7 days for temporary workers, 7 days for crew and transit, 7 days for visitors visa, Johannesburg, South Africa. Now, Kigali, 52 days for students, 85 days for temporary workers, 85 days for crew and transit, 85 days for visitors visa. So for Lagos, Nigeria, 2 days, 222 days for students, 245 days for temporary workers, 245 days for crew and transit. 333 days for visitors visa. This is Lagos, Nigeria, but Abuja, Nigeria has much shorter days all across. Really, really shorter, very big margin. I wonder why. Anyway, it's good news for Nigeria if Abuja is that low, because 2-3 years back, it wasn't that low. At least up till November or September last year, it wasn't that low. That means people will now troop to Abuja to get their visa. Okay, guys, let's move on. Libreville, 14 days for students, 14 days for 14 days for temporary workers, 14 days for crew and transit, and 75 days for visitors visa. Okay, let's go on to Lomé, Togo. 28 days for students, 7 days for temporary workers. That's good. Lomé. Wow. Anyway, 28 days for crew and transit, 28 days for visitors visa. In short, for Lomé, Togo, that is a wonderful news. Lomé is very close to Nigeria, if not that it borders Nigeria. I think, it's very close to Nigeria, and they have this low rate. It's impressive. Very, very impressive. Okay, guys. Well, let's move on. So for Monrovia, 7 days for students, 7 days for temporary workers, 7 days for crew and transit, 7 days for visitors visa. Wow, that's wonderful for Monrovia. Anyway, in N'Djamena, Chad, 39 days for students, 185 days for temporary workers, 185 days for transit and crew, 185 days for visitors visa. That's in N'Djamena. Now, Nairobi, Kenya, 59 days for students, 43 days for temporary workers, 63 days for crew and transit, and 80 days for visitors visa. This same 80 days is also for Abuja, Nigeria. Same with Nairobi. Interesting. Then Nassau, 4 days for students visa. Wow, this is wonderful. 6 days for temporary workers. 4 days for crew and transit. 8 days for visitors visa. That's not bad. Now, Miami, 65 days for students. Nothing to show for temporary workers. 95 days all through for the rest. That's Miami. Okay, guys, let's move on. So for Ouagadougou, 56 days for students, 30 days for temporary workers, 56 days for crew and transit, 70 days for visitors visa. Now, Port Louis, 28 days for students, 28 days all across board. Not bad. So guys, that is all we have for the countries in West Africa that are on their list here. Bye for now. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And please comment below